Tony Soper talking with Eric Battalio. Eric, tell us what is this project that you have and what is the current status?
So the project is the TechNet Wiki. We've been working with John Martin, Natalie Irvine, and Sean Jenkins over there to get this wiki launched here quickly.
That's the folks from TechNet?
Those are the folks from TechNet. And over on our side, we've been working with the Wiki Ninjas, a bunch of content team folks that are passionate about community and content and working together and generating great stuff for our customers. And we have been kind of fighting to get this thing delivered. It's been, seems like years, and we have launched, and that is great news. So we launched the 5th of March, and it seems like forever ago. And we're going to launch fully for everybody here the 14th of April. So that's when we have updates to the software. We're going to launch and announce to everybody. So we're pretty excited about that.
And what is the TechNet Wiki? How is it different from, is it like Wikipedia? What is it?
Great question. The TechNet Wiki is a place where people can come and contribute technical content, generally technical content, including conceptual, how-to, even videos and audio and pictures and graphs and anything that they feel would be appropriate to help related to Microsoft technology in some way. Wikipedia is a little different. It is a neutral spot for people to put facts in, generally not opinions. And there are very emotional things on Wikipedia, whereas on TechNet Wiki there might be emotional things, but they're generally of a technical nature. So you might have an opinion about one technology working a little bit better than another technology. Generally those things are going to be based in fact. It's not going to be, I think this concept, Wikipedia, where I think this concept A is more important than concept B, and I'm going to argue to the death about concept A being better than concept B. On the TechNet Wiki, you will argue, hopefully, about technology, and that would be a spirited thing, and that will only help our customers. So if there are a couple technologies out there that people feel passionate about, and they're slightly different, and there's discussion around it, then maybe people can make an informed decision about which technology to choose. So that is the difference.
So who can participate in TechNet Wiki?
Anybody who joins. That means anybody who finds the site. It is at technet.com/wiki. That's the short URL to get there. There are others. So technet.com/wiki. When you get there, as long as you have a Windows Live ID account, you can sign in. As soon as you sign in and join, then you can comment, you can edit, and you can create topics.
Cool. And Windows Live ID is free, right? So if I don't have one, I can go get one, right?
Yes, Windows Live ID is free, and I don't think that service harasses you much. I don't think it spams you or anything. It's been around a while. I realized my Windows Live ID, my Hotmail account, I think I've had it for 10 years now, and I think the service has been around longer than that. So, yeah. So,
right,
go join.
Is there anything I've forgotten to ask you? You want to say to folks about TechNet Wiki?
Wiser folks than me have thought that wikis were a good thing. I think that you should jump in and find out for yourself. There's already a bunch of great content out there. We've got over 500 topics, and it's been not even a month. And we cover the gamut from Hyper-V to ADFS to Forefront to just about, well, not just about everything, but there's a lot. And more is coming. BizTalk, certainly.
SQL.
And when you land there, it's a little bit more dynamic, like Wikipedia, than other sources of your information might be. So the TechNet library generally has very, a cadence of updates. The TechNet Wiki and other community sites like this generally will be updated more frequently, and you're never quite sure what you're going to get. So, you might land on there and find out that some SharePoint stuff has been updated, or there's some APIs that have been discussed, whatever. And there's a way to discover that information when you land on the site. It's a busy place, and there's a way to follow and reach out to other people on the site using a notion of friending. Everybody's doing that. But this site certainly lets you reach out. We may develop a little bit more, look into that in future, because we think that that's an important concept, an important component where, if you're active in an area and you want to meet other people that are active in the area, you can certainly go do that. So later next month, we're going to be in Reading, outside of London, and France on Saturdays, having informal get-togethers with the community. So we're going to try to announce that out on the wiki around the 14th, and sooner on the forums once we've locked down where the venues are. They're going to be low stress, very casual places to go.
Which month? When you say next month, which month?
April.
Is that? April.
So it's April, yes.
April 2010.
Yeah, near the end of April. So we're still working out the details, which is why I can't tell you specifically. But if you're interested in these types of things, visit the TechNet Wiki or go off and visit the forums or look for more videos or information.
So when you were talking about possibly developing more social or other kinds of things about the wiki going forward, how do people get involved in that? If they have ideas about ways to improve the wiki or complaints about how it currently works, how do they get that feedback to you?
So if you go to the wiki, when you go to technet.com/wiki, you'll be on the root page. If you scroll down, you'll see a link to the forums. If you go to the TechNet Wiki forum, there is a thread there for recommending features. You can also start your own threads if you've got just general questions. If you've got specific feedback, you may find a thread that already exists there. And the Community Council and other folks involved in the community in the TechNet Wiki effort do patrol that and take a look and account for this type of information. We haven't decided when our next release is going to be or what our release schedule is going to be, but we certainly are going to take into account the community. In fact, that is why we're working with the community, is we want the community to help us figure out what the features are. We don't pretend to know what the perfect platform is for this type of content. So we're hoping to work with the community to help us solve things like flag revisions and how to handle regional, language-based wikis, and to the extent that we support certain things in the editor or links into forums or using forums to start a page in the wiki, things like that. We would love to have your help. Help us steer the right way.
When you talked about discoverability there, where do I find the table of contents, and how do I negotiate that? How do I find stuff on the wiki?
So like a baseline wiki is what we call something like a Wikipedia. When you think about Wikipedia, there are categories and no table of contents. So what you do is discoverability is generally you go to a search engine, Bing, and you search for something, and you'll get your search results, and you'll be able to click and land on a topic. If you want to look at related topics, you'll see tags at the bottom for that content. So for example, a piece of content might be tagged Hyper-V and how-to. So if you're interested in more general how-to, you would click how-to. If you're interested in more Hyper-V, you can click Hyper-V and see what other Hyper-V topics there are there. You can also search on the wiki itself. It's got a pretty robust search functionality on it. You can hit RSS to see what's changing. So in terms of discoverability, that is certainly the way that we envision people going in. If you want to be alerted anytime an article changes, you can subscribe to that. You can get email updates, and it works reasonably well. And I think sometimes if you're not expecting an article to be updated and it is, it's a little bit of a surprise. So it's kind of like Christmas. You go out there and figure, oh, what did someone do? So at least for me, that's happened a couple of times. You go out there and see, especially if topic, it is all community content, but some content is near and dear to your heart than others because you may have contributed something, or you feel like you put your heart into it, or some sort of nugget, or you just are fond of it for some reason, like a pet. And when someone updates it, then you want to go out there and see, and if they updated it, and it's not right, then you feel obligated. Hopefully, you feel obligated to fix it, right? So if someone's mean to your pet, then you want to certainly remedy that. So I run out there for both of those reasons. One, it feels like Christmas, and two, if someone's being mean to my pet, then I want to take care of that. So so it's pretty fun.
Eric Battalio, thanks for talking with us about TechNet Wiki.